I'll be honest, I wasn't really planning on buying this watch, but after seeing it everywhere online and watching it sell out almost instantly, I wanted to see what the hype was all about. And after 30-40 tries, I was finally able to book this watch. So today we're looking at one of the most talked about Indian watches of the year, the Delhi Watch Company's Terra. Now, this isn't a watch that tries to appeal to everyone. In fact, I'd argue it's one of the most polarizing watches released in the recent years. Some people absolutely love the industrial design, while others think it's one of the ugliest watches they've ever seen. Unlike almost every field watch on the market, the Terra is essentially a flat rectangular slab of steel with almost no curves. It has a very industrial, almost tactical aesthetic. The case itself is inspired by the shape of the carabiner, used by mountaineers and rock climbers. And the result is something that doesn't really look like any other watch out there. And that's exactly why it went viral when it was launched. Personally, I have to give Delhi Watch Company credit here. Instead of releasing yet another conventional field watch, they actually took a risk and created something completely different. Whether you love it or hate it, it's entirely subjective, but at least it has its own identity. In a market full of watches that all look the same, it is refreshing. The one I bought is the black DLC version, although it's also available in brushed stainless steel and sandblasted finish. The black coating gives Terra an even more tactical appearance than the standard steel models. Initially, I actually preferred this version over the others. But then something happened. Funnily enough, I was wearing the watch one day when a friend looked at my wrist and asked, "Is that a warp band?" And ever since then, I honestly haven't been able to unsee it. At first glance, I can see the resemblance, especially because of all black finish and the strap almost being as wide as the case. I don't really get that impression with the brushed or the sandblasted versions, but with the black DLC, I think it's worth mentioning. Now let's talk about the dimensions. The Terra has 31.5 mm case width, a 42 mm lug to lug distance, and is just 8.6 mm thick without the strap, or roughly 10 mm with it. Interestingly, it wears larger than I expected, yet somehow the dial feels smaller when you're actually checking the time. That sounds contradictory, but there is a reason for it. The dial itself is relatively small and circular, sitting inside a much larger rectangular case. Because of that, a significant portion of what you see on the wrist is just the case. And having the numerals further from the edge makes it look even smaller. In terms of wearability, it is really comfortable and it is light enough that you sometimes forget you're even wearing it. But because the case is essentially one flat slab of metal without much contouring, it actually feels a little rigid. Personally, I tend to prefer watches that wrap around the wrist more naturally, so this definitely took some time getting used to. If your wrist is under 6.2 inches, I do think the watch might look a little awkward simply because of the shape. The strap is comfortable, lightweight, and complements the watch nicely once it's on, but putting it on every day is slightly more fiddly than I'd like. It's a minor inconvenience rather than a major flaw. Moving on to specifications, you get a 316L stainless steel case with black DLC coating along with Schott glass protecting the dial. Now Schott is a highly respected German manufacturer that's known for producing premium specialty glass used in everything from laboratory equipment and optics to watch crystals. In terms of durability, Schott glass sits somewhere between the standard mineral crystal and sapphire crystal. Compared to the generic mineral crystal found in many affordable watches, Schott glass generally offers better optical clarity, improved scratch resistance, and better overall quality. It's not as scratch resistant as sapphire, but it's definitely a noticeable step up above the ordinary mineral crystal. The dial is clean, minimal, and very easy to read. The numerals are well proportioned, the minute track is crisp, and the contrast against the black case looks fantastic. One detail I really like is the seconds hand. It's painted black, but the very tip is finished in red. It just adds a little bit of character. There's also a subtle 24-hour track, and importantly, there's no unnecessary text cluttering the dial. Even the Delhi Watch Company logo is tucked away neatly in the corner instead of dominating the design. Legibility is excellent. Whether you're indoors or standing outside in bright sun, reading time takes absolutely no effort. As for the lume, it's decent. It charges quickly and glows brightly at first, but it fades away faster than I would have liked. The Terra also offers 50 meters of water resistance, which I think is perfectly respectable for the price. Now let's talk about one area which disappointed me the most. It's the crown. The crown itself is signed, which is a nice touch, but there is quite a bit of play in it. When setting time, I noticed I could rotate the crown a fair amount before the hands actually started moving. Now to be clear, nothing is broken, the watch sets time accurately, and once the hands engage, everything works normally. But that initial slack makes the experience feel less precise than it should. It's a small detail, but it does affect the overall perception of quality. The movement used inside the watch is a Miyota GL32. It's a reliable, ultra-slim Japanese quartz movement which has a battery life of around 2 to 3 years. At Rs 5000 for the Black DLC version and 4500 for the other models, it is the most unique value watch you can find. You're getting a genuinely original design, solid overall finishing, a reliable quartz movement, a really good glass, and a watch that doesn't look like anything else on the market. And that's really where the Terra stands out. So would I recommend it? Well, it's not a straightforward answer. Considering the price, it definitely is worth considering, but I would still say it is a design-first watch. If you appreciate a unique industrial design and want something that genuinely feels different from everything else on the market, then yes, this is the watch to get. But if this is going to be your first watch, I probably would not recommend it. See, when you're getting into watches, you don't really know what you actually enjoy wearing. You don't know whether you prefer traditional designs, sporty watches, dress watches, or something in between. And because the Terra's design is so unconventional, there is a real chance you'll love it online but dislike it once it's on your wrist. So don't buy the watch just because everyone's talking about it. Don't let the hype make the decision for you. Take your time, do your research, and buy something because you genuinely like it, not because the internet told you to. So that's been my review of the Delhi Watch Company's Terra. If you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you could leave a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.